Marcellus Kendell from Home Research.
Melanie Underwood with Land Home Financial Services.
Today we're going to talk about 10 questions to ask your mortgage lender. The first question is, which type of loan is best for an individual?
Well, that all depends. Basically, it will depend on your credit. It will depend on if you have money saved up. A lot of times what we try to do is we go with a FHA loan because you would have to come with as little as possible down. That's 3.5%.
Got it. What about the interest rates today? What are we looking at on that?
Well, interest rates have dropped, thank God. For the last couple of years, I guess we have been somewhere in the 4.5 range. Now we're down and have dipped into the 3%. So it all depends, and it will all depend on your credit. It will depend on the things that basically the whole structure of the loan.
Got it. What is the normal down payment right now?
Well, if you go an FHA loan, you could get you could bring 3.5% of your own money to the table. So I would say 3.5%.
Gotcha. Are there any other programs though? Let's say like the conventional loan. What is the normal?
Well, conventional loan, you can it's anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10% that you would have to put down based upon the loan amount.
Okay.
Or should I say the purchase price?
Gotcha. Now, what about discount points or origination fees? I know sometimes we see that on certain documents. Are there any that you're aware of?
Well, this is the thing in regards to discount points and origination. It's the same thing. It's a play on words. An interest rate, a discount point as well as a origination, it is the same thing. What it is, it's 1% of the loan amount. So if your loan is $300,000, 1 point of that would be $3,000. So if ever you're looking into getting a good faith estimate that you should be receiving when your loan officer is trying to basically get you the beginning of the process, you would have that listed. Okay, so you would see $3,000 on the line that might say discount point, or $3,000 if it's a $300,000 loan on an origination. So actually, it's the same thing.
Gotcha. So one of the other questions is what are some of the costs that are associated with settlement that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, as far as settlement costs, a lot of times people say that we can do a loan with no money. Well, that's not true, because you have title costs, which is abstracting. You have somebody to look at the deed, make sure that you have a clear deed. You have recordation expenses. You have to set up your escrow, which basically setting up your escrow is saying, okay, in your payment, you're going to have your taxes and your insurance included. So to set that up, typically you'd have to come and they would take 6 months of reserves to set that escrow up. So that's all part of that as well.
Gotcha. So if a buyer got pre-approved and the interest rate now was 4.5%, can that buyer get a rate lock?
Well, there's a 30-day lock, 45-day lock, and a 60-day lock. So it all depends on the client, actually, the borrower rather, because no one's going to lock that rate unless it's conditionally approved. And in order to get it conditionally approved, the buyer's going to have to have everything in that they need. As far as all the docs, they have to have 2 months of bank statements, 2 months of their pay stubs. They have to have their tax return, or really just the W-2s, as well as their ID. Now, once that's done, then that can be given out.
Gotcha.
They will be provided.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've heard a few times through the years that folks talking about prepayment penalty. What do you have on that?
Well, Marcellus, that's actually an old term, prepayment penalty, because in the state of Maryland there is no prepayment penalty. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if there's any prepayment penalties anymore. back in, like, say, 2006, before the market crashed in '08, we had prepayment penalties.
Gotcha.
Prepayment penalties was just saying, hey, if you have a loan, you have to stay in that loan 36 months. So, and then otherwise you would pay a penalty.
Gotcha. Now, so let's drag that out just a little bit further. So when you say at 36 months, what happens at 36 months on if a person, so we're talking about if a person wanted to refinance, then they would pay a penalty to
Exactly.
get out. Gotcha.
So that means that in 36 months, if a person would refinance, they would pay that prepayment penalty. Gotcha. If in 36 months, if they sell the property, they would have to pay that prepayment penalty.
Now, I had this question for you, but I think it's a denied question per each lender. Is the lender equipped to approve a loan in-house?
Yes, we actually are able to approve a loan in-house. Pretty much what has happened is it's a computer program that we can pre-approve the client in-house. Now, do understand that means that the client has to give all their documents so that they can be checked and rechecked and what have you. And then we would then, after that, submit it to the underwriter and get a conditional approval.
Gotcha. And that's what they throw out there, the DU, right?
Correct.
They do underwriting?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
How much time does it normally take to close a loan these days?
Well, I would say anywhere from 30 to 45 days. I mean, we're actually getting loans done in 30 days.
Got it.
But that will also depend on how fast the client comes up with their documents. Okay. A lot of times there is an issue with clients coming and giving the loan officer the documents or the correct documents at that.
Now, is there any difference of why a loan would take 30 to or that 45? Does it matter per program or anything?
Well, typically it doesn't. I mean, granted, there are certain guidelines that you must adhere to, but pretty much all the programs can be done in that time frame.
So at Land Home, do you guys pretty much guarantee on-time closing?
We do.
Wow, gotcha.
We pride ourselves in having on-time closings, definitely.
Gotcha. Now, one of the things that we were here to talk about, you guys have an amazing program. What is that program?
Well, every lender out there will say they have a specialty program. At Land Home, what we try to do is we have several specialty programs. But one thing that I absolutely love, is our Heroes program. Okay. And that actually gives teachers, nurses, firefighters, 6% of the loan amount. Wow. To help them towards closing costs. And that's a big help. A lot of times what people don't realize is that they have some money, but they don't have all the money. And then when they don't have all the money, that grant will kick in and basically help them get basically to the closing table.
Gotcha. Wow. That's an amazing program, I think. Especially 6%.
6%?
Help. Folks, you got to reach out to us and find out more about this. We're glad to come to you and take this time to give you this information.
Definitely.
And we hope that you reach out to us. Give us a call. I'm at 410-365-0713.
I'm at 443-506-7929. I would hope to hear from you. I like to try to help everybody that can get in a house, get a house.
Have a blessed one.
Have a good one.
New NAR, National Association of Realtors settlement, what it means for you as a home buyer. Well, we all know that buying a home is one of the largest financial transactions most people will ever make. Agents who are realtors are a trusted advisor, and we as agents stand true and ready to help you navigate your home buying journey so that you can make the choices that work best for you. Well, NAR's recent settlement has led to several changes that benefit home buyers, and we wanted to clearly lay them out for you. settlement means for home buyers. Starting today, August 17th, 2024, you will sign a written agreement with your agent before touring a home. Before signing this agreement, you should ensure it reflects the terms you have negotiated with your agent and you understand exactly what services and value will be provided and for how much. The buyer agreement must include 4 components concerning compensation. A specific conspicuous disclosure of the amount or rate of the compensation the real estate agent will receive, or how this amount will be determined. Compensation that is objective, $0, flat fee, percentage, or hourly rate, and not open-ended, cannot be buyer broker compensation shall be whatever the amount the seller is offering the buyer. That's out the door. A term that prohibits the agent from receiving compensation for brokerage services from any source that exceeds the amount of rate agreed to in the agreement with the buyer, and a conspicuous statement that broker fees and commission are fully negotiable and not set by law. Written agreements apply to both in-person and live virtual home tours. You do not need a written agreement if you are just speaking to an agent at an open house or asking about their services. The seller may agree to offer compensation to your agent. This practice is permitted, but the offer cannot be shared on the multiple listing service, MLS. MLSs are local marketplaces used by both buyer brokers and listing brokers to share information about properties for sale. You can still accept concessions from the seller, such as offers to pay your closing costs, etc. Just remember, these changes will go in effect today, August 17, 2024. Here's what the settlement does not change. Agents who are realtors are here to help you navigate the home buying process and are ethically obligated to work in your best interests. Compensation for agents remains fully negotiable. And if your agent is a realtor, they must abide by a realtor code of ethics and have clear and transparent discussions with you about compensation. When finding an agent to work with, ask questions about compensation, understand what services you are receiving. You have choices. Work with your agent to understand the full range of these choices when buying a home. This will help you make the best possible decision for your needs. More details about these changes and what they mean can be found at facts.realtor. This is Marcellus Kendell III, Kendell One Realty Resource, a Bennett Realty Solution Company. For all your real estate needs, contact me.